Good evening. Good evening. I think I can be heard. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Hello, YouTube and people. I see Rob's already in. Hi, Rob. Hope you're well this week or had a good week. Good evening. I think. Oh God, I've got me thing. It's the weird setup. So on my OBS, it's now set up linked to YouTube, so I can hopefully see comments, but it doesn't seem to work as well as I want it to. And the sound was just working, so hopefully I've sorted that now. Anyway, so who else have we got? We've got a couple of people watching tonight, so thank you for joining. I am going to go through what I'm taking on the show on Sunday. So on Sunday I am on Hobby Maker, and it's really bad, I can't remember the time. I think it was 4, possibly. I should remember that, shouldn't I? I've got a bit of a brain like a sieve at the moment. Where can I quickly check? Let's quickly check. Let's check their schedule. On Saturday, on Sunday. I'm on at 2, apparently. Better not show up at 4 then. I'm on at 2. Should have checked that, shouldn't I? Oh dear. So, yes. So we're going to go through what we're taking on the show then. And so I'm taking some older, well, some of my first products, but I'm also taking the new stamp set and my books and things, so that will be fun. But how is everybody? Let me know. Sound is perfect. Fabulous. What else was I going to say? I went away camping at the weekend. It was really lovely. Went to a place called Stubbs Croft Farm in East Wittering. Very lovely. Although it was quite warm, but it was lovely. I got a few midgy bites. Got a really nasty one on my shoulder here, and I've got a massive one on my knee that's come out in a bit of a blister. It's not very nice. It's really annoying as well. But anyway, I had a lovely weekend. I've been very busy trying to prep everything. So let's get down to what's on the show. So I am taking, like I mentioned, some of my previous products. So I've got the first stencil I produced will be coming with us. So I've got all my boards ready. So I've been busy making boards for everything today. I'm taking my texture stamp set. So there's a real kind of mixture of like grunginess. This is one of my absolute favourites. Really nice kind of Victorian pattern, and we've got a water gauge dial key splodge, which is really good. The ink splodge is really useful, and just a pair of glasses because they were Victorian and I kind of liked them. Yeah, so we're taking those. We are also taking, sorry, my nose piercings keeps coming around, it's very annoying. We're also taking the Victorian snippet collection, so that's the ephemera that I do, and the paper collection. The paper collection is 8 designs, 3 of each. I can't remember, is it 280 GSM or 200? I have to double check that. I haven't got a cover one. 250 GSM. But there's a real mixture of patterns. So we've got some real kind of grungy, steampunky. We've got kind of an old letter, which is really fun. And then we've got some little journaling cards with the kind of the images between the ephemera and the paper collection kind of work together. Then we've got some more kind of really lovely vintagey look stuff. Got a nice map of America, and some more kind of gauges and dials and things. And in this pack we've got a couple of snippet pages. So one's got sentiments on, but I don't seem to have it in my pile here. But also it has some of those kind of really fun images to kind of put into your projects. So what I've done for this collection is you can buy all the Victorian stuff. So the kind of texture stamp set, the stencil, the ephemera and the paper collection you could buy as a bundle, but then I've done a separate bundle of just the paper collection and the ephemera. So you've got a choice, because you might not want the stamp sets, but you do want the paper stuff. So kind of giving people options there. But the new stamp set will be separate. They're like a separate purchase. I don't have a huge stock of them. I do have some, but I don't have a huge. And then I'm going to turn you around to a flippity flew you for the stamp collection, the new one. Is that the one? That's the one. Yeah, I love a bit of camping. We used my mum's camper van. I'm very lucky. So, you got a sneak peek, and we worked with last week the new Ink and Petals stamp set, which is the kind of the new feature. And you'll find with my brand and what the products that I bring is I can't bring tons of new stuff every single time I go to air, because I just don't have the money to invest in it all. So it's kind of little bits at a time, as much as I can. So with this stamp set, we've got 3 kind of florals. We've got rose, delphinium, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I think, and a daisy, because I just, as you can see the way I've coloured them in, and I've coloured them in using my kind of watercolour markers. Really easy to work with, really fun. And then the extras, we've got this kind of ink not splodge, but like ink brush stroke, and then we've got 4 of the most used sentiments. So happy birthday, just a note, congratulations, I'm thinking of you. So you've got something for all occasions there. So this stamp set will really work as just a really nice all-rounder on its own. So I'm really loving how this has turned out. Also, that's going to be appearing back on the show is my texture dies, because I absolutely love them and I still have a small amount of stock. And I'm going to take my butterfly die, the Builder Butterfly, because not everybody has seen all my products, and this might be something they'd be interested in. Also, I will have my technique book and both of my Logit books will be available again. I don't have, so I can't do massive amounts of stocks like some of the companies. So some companies like Crafty's Companion can do like a couple of hundred of a stock. I just can't do that, because, well, I don't have the money behind me to kind of have that amount of stock. But I do, I've got about 50 of each of the book, and I keep selling out every time I bring it. So if I could increase the amount, I would. Sorry, I'm getting my box of samples out, because I've been working today. Is that the lot I've been working on? Yeah. I've been working today using the new Ink and Petal stamp set. I wanted to just have a quick look at what I've created, because I know you guys at home are going to be thinking, oh, I might be able to create something else, or I really like that, so I might want to kind of, you know, copy the idea, which is absolutely fine. That's why I do these videos, that's why I share what I do, so you guys can also have a look at what I create. So this is really kind of quick and easy, happy birthday, and literally just using ink. I always do a rainbow card, then mixing up the texture stamp set with the petals, and then we've got really nice kind of simple, just a note, and it just colours really beautifully and really easy. And I like the fact that it's sketchy, so even if I do go over the lines, it doesn't really matter, because it's in keeping with that kind of aesthetic kind of, I don't know, the look that I'm going for. Hi Kel, and Moma, hello. I don't know you, but thank you for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. And this was one I used. So I used the stamp set, textures, I used the petals, I also used the stencil, so stencil 1, and then I've got the texture die as well. But I just, for like a grungy card, I feel like it really came out nicely. Really pleased with this one. Also, this is why I wanted to bring the die, because I want to show that actually you're snipping out your elements, you can layer them up. Butterflies aren't just butterflies, they can be other things too. And then a take on the card that we did last week, but kind of the text to the side, just a slightly different orientation. And then I've used that splodgy stamp to kind of just give it some splodges, and then I can highlight my birthday. So this is what we created last week in the live. So if you didn't catch that of me waffling absolute twaddle last week, you can catch up on that. Then I just went for some really simple acrylic block ink stamping. Literally, that's my acrylic block, and it's the one that's got like a texture on it. You can hear it. So it's got a texture on it, and I wanted to get that texture onto like in the ink and stuff. So I did that, which was a bit of fun. Very simple and quick, because for me, sometimes I need simple and quick. This could easily be a birthday card. It could be a congratulations. I mean, obviously, you can really work it with what you've got, or it really does nicely work like standalone. And then once again, so I did using the texture stamp set, I used the grungy bit, which is supposed to be kind of not perfect. That's why you get this kind of gritty look, but that is the idea behind the stamp set, or that particular stamp in the stamp set. But then I stamped just in black those florals, just to kind of, just as that extra kind of something. I just, you know, when you go, oh, actually, I kind of like the way that's come out. And then I've just popped a happy birthday up in the corner. So you can see that, like, I've done kind of quite elegant, quite kind of minimalistic. We've got a bit more on the grungy side. We've got, once again, a bit more elegant, simple stamping, a bit grungy. So I wanted to create the stamp set. Let me flip the flu. I wanted just to create something that I can use really quick and easy, and for as many kind of occasions as possible, and it not cost an absolute fortune. So on the show, this stamp set on its own will be $11.99. I think it's $11.99, and I think that's almost the cheapest I could get it in, like, my budget for what the manufacturing process and so on. Which is, to be fair, is in line with All and Create and all the other like stamp brands out there. It's an A6 size, so it's slightly smaller than the, where she put it, I haven't got it in a packet, but the texture stamp set. I think I've got this on a bit of a deal as well. I can't remember as a separate. I'll have to double check my figures, but I think that's slightly cheaper than usual as well, because I've got a little bit of stock. Yes, so that is what's new. That is what I've been working on. So I've got lots of nice little samples, and yeah, I'm kind of excited about Sunday. It'll be nice, because I haven't been up there for another, because I only go up, say, once a month, once every other month, just because I'm such a small company. It's really, really tricky. I wish I could do more. I really do, but it is tricky. But anyway, just catching up on some messages. Oh, I love the textures. Oh, thank you very much. I've made that stamp set because I just really love a bit of grunge, and it was the first one that I ever did. So that was about 3 years or so ago, and it's just one that I go to all the time, especially like the text in it. It's very kind of scribbly, Victorian-esque writing. It's really lovely. Robbie Rob. Yes, yeah. What time is the show? Show is at 2. If you missed the beginning of the live, I had to go and check on the website because I couldn't remember. I thought it was 4, but I get these things mixed up. So 2 o'clock. So I have already gone and added, not that book. I've already gone and added. So I've just flippity flew you. So if you're new to my card journaling concept, you might be, you might not, you might have heard me talk about it a million times, so apologies if you have heard it before. But I created these books, card journaling, log it book, for you to log your project. So if, like a card front, so you create your card front, you take a copy of it, a photograph, or you can photocopy it. It's what I tend to do now, is I photocopy them, and then what I do is I make a list of what I've used, so stamps and stencils, what ones I've used, what inks and mediums, so if I've used texture paste or particular inks or markers, what cardstock I've used, because it could be a particular brand of cardstock that I've used, or a particular paper collection I've used that I want to keep a track of. Techniques, if I've done anything like out of the ordinary, I then make a note of those things. But I've gone through and I've done all of these. So for instance, this one, so I use the Tim Holtz decor, I'm never sure if I said it right, trimmer to kind of get that kind of really rough edge on that project and this one. So then I just kind of give myself something to look back at, that if I want to recreate this at a later date, I can. Or if I want to present this to a potential client who wants me to make a card, I can go, oh, you can look through my catalogue, and then I can make it to people's specifications. So, you know, changing up sentiments and so on, or colours, or whatever it is. And it could just be a technique that you want to try. The idea of these books is for you to be able to create what you want to, but be able to have a log of it so you can look back at it when you want to enjoy it. So card journaling is about you, all about you, because we make everything and then we give it away. It's like, it's so annoying, isn't it? Not annoying, I don't mean it quite like that, but it's, you give it away, you've appreciated it, and hopefully someone else will appreciate it, but then it's gone. And you know what people are like, people don't always keep everything that we create for them, so probably ends up in the bin, unfortunately. But some people don't appreciate how much goes into making something, does it? You know, to be truthful. Sorry, I got my squash this week. Looks fantastic. We'll look forward to it. Oh, thank you very much, Kel. I'd love to have your company on the show, and you on the shows you can email in, you can send messages, and live show, they're very good at kind of getting customers and people watching, kind of what's the word I'm looking for, interacting with the show, which is really lovely. What am I grabbing? I am going to grab my stamping platform. Wasn't sure if I was going to go for a block or a stamping platform. Right, and I'm working, I'm going to be working on the bottom corner, so I'm going to kind of do a take on a very simple stamping card. I need to be careful because I was working on it earlier and sometimes the ink just doesn't quite dry off. Do you have products? Wait, do you have? What do you mean? Do you have production meetings beforehand? Beforehand? I might not be reading that right, Rob. I'm dyslexic, so you know I get these things mixed up. So sorry about that. My bad. I'll try and figure it out what you're saying. Do you have production meetings beforehand? We do have production meetings before the show, if that's what you're meaning. I'm not sure. I do hate that I'm dyslexic. It really does trip me up so often. So blinking often. Right, we're going to do the daisy. So what I want to do is, because it's a photopolymer stamp, I have a bit of play in it. Obviously, I'm not going to bend it in half or anything like that, but I can manipulate it, shall we say, to be I might have to do it on a block. Yeah, let's do it on a block so I can manipulate it. So I'm going to just take it and I'm just going to bend that round. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. So I'm just going to, so I've bent it round a little bit, so we've got a little bit of, I'm going to take that and just tilt it in a little bit. Obviously don't go crazy with kind of manipulating your stamps, but because they are a photopolymer, they're a high grade type of plastic, and they are kind of, they're, you know, they are a bit more pliable for you to do that. So right, so I'm going to take that and we're going to pop that just there. Nice firm pressure. We got a lull. I'm sure I said something ridiculous. Sorry about that. That is okay. Before the show, do you have meetings about products? We do. Hobby Maker are really good at doing like a post-show meeting. Whereas, oh, actually, to be fair, Hoshanda used to be very good at that too. But the original Create and Craft, back when I was a demonstrator for them, were awful. Literally, sometimes you wouldn't see the presenter or any of the production team. So you've got a director, a producer in the gallery, and then you've got techies, you've got a floor manager, and we used to have cameramen, but not always. Oh, most of the time we did, until they went over to these different cams. But anyway, where was I? So yeah, the original Create and Craft, they were really bad at doing that. I'm not really sure why. They were just really poor at it, but they just were. But yeah, no, so usually a couple of hours before the live show, we kind of meet and talk. I meet up with the who's presenting to make sure that they understand the products or the concept behind the products. And everybody I've worked with so far have been absolutely lovely. And the directors, the directors and producers I've worked with so far have been spot on. Really lovely people. I'm very excited about, you know, the new products you're bringing and stuff, especially if it's something a little bit different. There's a particular guy that I worked with a couple of times. I think his name's Alex. He is absolutely delightful to work with. Really lovely. And I think he did my first show, and I was a bit nervous. I felt like a bit of a bag of nerves because it was a new kind of audience, new people. They do it slightly different at Hobby Maker to what I was used to. Not in a bad way, they just did it a little bit different. Right. And then, shall we do one more? Just popping in there. I might just get a couple in there. Right. But it is super fun. It is super fun. Let me just get that one in there. Sorry, I've been waffling for a while. As I do. As I hold that. Oh, I didn't say anything wrong. You were laughing at the other Kelly. Yeah, you'll find I do this thing. I start talking to Kelly, meaning myself, but it sounds like I'm talking to Kelly. I do that. It's quite amusing. There we go. And I think one in there. Because the nice thing about this particular stamp is this isn't going to take me very long whatsoever to kind of colour. There we go, and get one more there. So I've just made myself like a cluster of daisies, because why the devil not? Why the devil not? I'm going to just slightly move that head. I want it to be like that. She says getting ink absolutely everywhere. I always forget myself when I'm using like white. I always make such an absolute mess. I'm like, oh yeah, clean simple card with this black smear across it. I'll try not to smear it. I'll try not to. Right. There we go. So we've got this really nice kind of cluster. And then I'm going to use some of my markers, my watercolour markers, to colour it. I'm going old school. I've dragging out my markers from Stampin' Up. They are some of my favourite markers, although the tips on these are a little bit iffy now because I've had them for quite some time, but they still produce beautiful colour and nice coverage. So I'm literally just going to take and do the centre of the daisies with some yellow. I could use a wink of Stella on the leaves, but I'm not sure where it is. I might have a little, not the leaves, the petals, because I've got a clear wink of Stella somewhere, which is quite nice to kind of just give stuff a little glitter. Let me read that message from Kel. It was very confusing last week. Oh yeah, it was really confusing. I'm so sorry. It's only because I talk about myself in third person, like, Kelly, you did that and that was really silly. And I say it out loud, so I'm sorry. I don't mean you at all, my love. You were amazing. You are not a silliness like me. So with these stamps, so I have just gone totally out of the line, but that is okay because of their scribbled texture, the scribbled design, they're meant to be. It doesn't matter. That's why I like them. Because I'm rubbish sometimes at just, I don't know, staining the lines, or, you know, I want to make it like a bit messy. Because that's just me. So now I'm just going to go round and I'm going to just quickly, or as quick as I can, fill these in. But so for this one I'm using stamping card, and I'm using these kind of watercolor markers to create my image. I could use alcohol markers. That would be absolutely acceptable as well. Or I could be painting it, squidging my ink out on the glass mat. Or I could be using a watercolor palette. I mean, whatever your kind of preference is for doing your colouring elements. Obviously these will work beautifully with that. I was thinking of stamping this onto glass and then using glass paint to paint it, but I mean, I'm trying to be a bit ambitious there because I just don't have a lot of time. So I'm working tomorrow. I'm running my craft sessions for the people with acquired brain injury, which is good fun. I'm hoping the flossers come for us to do some hand embroidery projects. I've got a couple of ladies who over the past couple of weeks we've been making hand stitched tote bags, and I've got a couple of ladies doing some needle felt projects, which is really good fun. And yeah, we'll see. I've got some card making stuff to take as well tomorrow, so if we are lost for things to do, I've always got that to fall back onto. Yeah, so that'll be exciting. I think I'm also working on Thursday to help out with one of the other sessions. I think I might add another daisy up here. What do you reckon? I say what do you reckon, I'm just going to do it. Right, pop Yeah, let's just straighten that up. Inkity ink. Though I probably will need to let it just... Oh. What should we do? What sentiment should we do for this one? Shall we do congratulations, happy birthday, or just a note? Or thinking of you. Actually, either of those will work. What do we reckon? Let's get those out. You've never done sewn and hand embroidery? I blooming love it. Blooming love it. I took in some of my samples of projects I made last week for the guys, and because I'm one of those people, I look at what I do and I think everything I do is crap. So excuse my language, but I do. And they were blown away, which was kind of nice that people like the projects I do. And I was like, I'm thinking of making these two into kits. One is a cat, of course, because I love my cats. So I might be doing that at some point. You could stamp on fabric and stitch. Yeah, you definitely could do the stamp into a stitched project. It would look fabulous. It really would. It's amazing what you can use stamps for. I've done stamp stitching before, and I tend to use a really light like biscuit colour. I used to use what's it? Oh, that's going to annoy me. But I still got it. Crumb cake. I think it was. I think it was a Stampin' Up one called Crumb Cake. I think, and that was brilliant because it was so light that you could see it. But then once you stitched over it, it was fine. You couldn't see it. It was great. So very light kind of, or a light grey would do it as well. There we go. There we go. Another I watch of Sewing Street. Yeah, I don't get to watch Telebox as much as I'd like to. I try and tune in when some of my friends are on, like Joe from a Storage for Crafts, and I try to tune in when Rebecca Cole's on, but I haven't had a chance to watch much of it. But to be fair, there's not much sewing stuff I need at the moment. I've got a very nice sewing machine which I've had for years. I can't believe. So I got a Benini, and I got it before Theo was born, about a year before. So I've got to have had it for 9 going on 10 years. So I think I'm going to do Thinking of You. And it's fabulous. Such a good machine. I've never stamped and stitched. Yeah. Give it a go. I've done it before with Rare Earth years ago. And I think I did it as a sample, but I don't know if they showed it. But they had these inspirational words. And I stamped the inspirational words and then stitched over it. It looked fabulous. I'm not sure what happened to it, to be fair. But that's, Right, I'm going to stamp. Don't know, should I stamp it up there? I do like it there. But I think it'll be quite nice in the middle. Yeah, let's go in the middle. In the middle. And I'm going to do a Thinking of You. Thinking of all you guys tuning in with me tonight. Thanks. I appreciate your company. I appreciate the banter and chat back and forth. Sorry if I missed stuff though. Right, Thinking of You. So sorry if my head gets in the way. Hopefully it shan't. I'm just going to tuck that in there. Firm, even pressure. Lovely. Love it. So we've got a really lovely, simple card. Now that could have been the Delphinians, if I'm saying that right, or the roses doing the same kind of scattered look. I really like that. I really like that. I do. So I really love a grungy card, but I think from a Stampin' Up days, I really do quite like a clean and simple. And something like that I can kind of mash. Oh, what am I doing? I can mass produce quite simple for shows and things. For like craft fairs and things, I mean. I went through 3 of these today. I have no idea how I managed to go through 3. Silly things. Right. I love my Tim Holtz mat, but I hate the fact that I can't see when I'm kind of lining up because of the black. I'm a little bit skewy, but it's fine. That is fine. If you use the rose, it could be for, yeah, it could be for remembrance. I should do a poppy, shouldn't I? For proper remembrance. I have a bit of a military background, so we go to Remembrance Sunday every year, or I go to Remembrance Sunday every year. But now my son is, he was in the Beavers and now the Cubs. I make him go with me. Or I make him go. I don't make him go, but he goes with his troop. And I go anyway, so. Which is, you know, for me, I think it's the right thing to do. Right. Look at that. Simple. Simple. I think that's come out really nicely. Super quick. I've only used 2 kind of markers. If you've got watercolour pencils, you could be using the watercolour pencils instead. Yeah, really simple, quick project. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, like, so we've got a good kind of mix of different beauties using these stamps, just to give you a little taste of what we can create. And when you guys get it home, I can't wait to see what you guys create. Yeah, I think that's it tonight. That was a bit quick, wasn't it? I don't know how long have I been going. Oh, where's my timer thing? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Have a look there. 40 minutes. 40 odd minutes. That's pretty quick for me. I am usually really bad at waffling and talking rubbish. But we did do a very simple card. I need to sort out my... So the camera on my laptop is a bit kind of dewy. It gives a funny kind of like soft look, which is quite funny. But yes, so that was our project today. That's been fun. Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Carol. Yeah. I do already I will have some more similar florals coming out at some point. But not just yet. Yeah, a little bit at a time. But I don't, like I've said with this stamp set, I don't have a huge stock of them. I am putting a delayed dispatch on a second bunch if I get more orders. But yeah, that will be about 2 weeks because I've got to get them manufactured. They are manufactured in the UK. It's just, that's just how long it takes for them to get to us, or to get manufactured. Hopefully about 2 weeks. I'm sure they'll have them done by then. But yes, that's been our fun today. So on Sunday I'm on at 2 on Hobby Maker for some fun using the product you've seen today. I'd really love for you guys to join me. I mean, even if you're not buying my products, that's fine. It's fine. Just join me for the bants. You know, have a giggle and me waffling. Hopefully not waffling too much. And yeah, I'm missing a lot of things on Sunday. So it's Theo's friend's birthday party and it's my nephew's birthday. So I'm missing a few things. I didn't realise when I was booked in, because I get booked in 3 months in advance or so, maybe more. So oopsie. But I think I'm pretty much ready. I've got my boards ready. I've got some samples, and I've got samples of the other products as well. Yeah, I think I'm almost there. But this week's a bit of a busy one. So I'm also helping with the PTA, which I've mentioned before, for the school, and it's our school summer fete on Friday. So it is, I had to get 90% of my prep and everything done today, because I'm working tomorrow, I'm working Thursday. Thursday evening, Theo's got swimming lessons, so I can't do anything then. And Friday, I'm helping set up for the school fete, and then I'm helping out throughout the whole thing. So it's a bit of a busy one. I'm looking forward to Saturday. I don't think I've got anything booked in Saturday, other than cleaning my house. I need to do that. I found with the new kitty edition, if you didn't know, we've got a new cat we're fostering called Barney. He's lovely, very old. He's 15, and he is molting like no tomorrow. And I am brushing him every day. But every time I touch him, and I wear a lot of black, so I'm literally rollering myself off before I walk out the house because I'm covered in his fur. Even though I'm brushing him every day. How is the fur everywhere still? Well, it's funny because my other cat, Phoebe, she doesn't really molt that much. I don't get covered in her fur. Crazy. You are busy, I know. Yeah, feet up. I can never put my feet up. That'd be nice. Maybe, just a little bit. To be fair, Saturday mornings, Theo and I, for both of us, it's just like, we're doing nothing this morning. So Theo and I will sit and watch Minecraft YouTube videos, or he'll play a little bit of computer games, and I'll sit and drink my coffee. And after I've had about 3 coffees, then I move. But it's not very often. Well, it's only on a Saturday that we get to do that. But it's nice to be curled up on the sofa with my son. So, yeah. Anyway, so please join me. Please email in and all of those things to the studio. And yeah, it should be fun. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm not sure who I've got presenting, though. Oh, did it say on the thingy? Let's have a quick looky. No. To be announced. Or announced soon. That's a shame. Who else is on that day? Hunky Dory, Paper Dynamics. Oh, I haven't seen Keith for ages. Oh, Stamps Away. Oh, she might be there. Ali might be there when I get there. Oh, hopefully I'll see her. Hopefully I'll see a couple of people I know up there. Anyway, it's been lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Right, now I always do this wrong. So am I supposed to stop streaming on that one or that one? I'm going to do this one. So see you later.